Good morning, Mower Medic 1. Today we have a little MTD edger on the bench this morning. Basically, customer dropped it off, and the complaint is it won't start. Says it's been setting up for a couple of years, got it out of storage, it won't start, so we're going to diagnose and repair this little Briggs engine. First thing you want to do is basically just pull the engine through and just see if it has, adequate compression. You can check the spark. You can do all these things separately, but I'm going to show you a little trick that'll do all three. Basically, just remove the air filter and inspect that while you got it out. This one looks good, but it feels a little rotten, spongy. More, it's below the threshold of needing replacement, so I'm probably going to end up replacing this filter. Basically, what you want to do is get your handy dandy can of carburetor and choke cleaner, give it just a little squirt. Now what this does, you're going to prime the fuel system. You're checking for spark, compression, basically those three things. If you have spark, compression, and fuel, it should run. So basically we'll see if it'll pop off. Well, it did crank and run, basically surging. The main jet is stopped up in the carburetor, and I couldn't get it to prime while ago. Gas tank's got gas in it. You should see fuel, I'll point it out, right here, right at the end of this little barrel. Literally shoot fuel into the intake manifold, and it's not doing that. It's got some check valve issues, but we'll take care of that once we get the carburetor off, and I'll show you. There are two main screws that hold the carburetor and gas tank on the engine. There's one 1/2 inch headed bolt here. Take it out. And there's one little 3/8 headed bolt here. Once you do that, you can take the PCV tube off like that, pull the bolt out of the gas tank. What you want to do, you can pull this straight out. There's a little O-ring right here that's stuck sometimes, so you may have to wiggle it like that. And once you get it away from the motor, just turn it down and pop it loose from the governor linkage, and piece of cake. Now you can work on the carburetor. Basically, there's 5 little Phillips head screws that hold the carburetor on. Just take those screws out and the carburetor will come right out. Once you remove all the screws, the carburetor will come straight off out of the gas tank. You'll have to wiggle the intake pipe out of there. You want to inspect your diaphragm. And let's see, as you can tell, they usually fail right about here. They get sucked in. This one's not too bad. Excuse me, I got a sneeze. Anyways, that one's wrinkled just a little bit. The diaphragm is a little stiff. So always replace your diaphragm when you do a carburetor job on these little pulsa prime carburetors. It'll bite you in the butt if you try to replace or reuse these. Next thing you want to do is remove the fuel filter. Sometimes from the factory, on the side, they'll actually take a heating element and they'll push it on and melt that screen to that body. They hadn't done that in quite some time, but most of the time they just pull straight off like that. and there's your main jet of the carburetor. You want to be sure you blow that out real good. I don't recommend removing that, however it is removable. There's a little slot where you can put a pocket screwdriver and you can pull that out, but most of the time you damage it when you get it out because it's so stuck in there. Anyway, all the holes that you see you want to blow out with a good quality carburetor cleaner. Any brand will work. Basically, you want a carburetor cleaner right here. You want to do that right there will basically clean your pipe out, and I just shot carburetor cleaner all over my camera. Anyway, get that camera lens wiped off here in just a minute, but you just want to blow in here and then blow all your passages out. And there's a couple passages in here that you want to blow out right there where the brass air bleed is, and that's pretty much it. Just kind of wash off the outside of the carburetor. Be sure you clean the gas tank out pretty good. A lot of times right in here will be a lot of trash and debris. Just take your air. You can use canned air if that's all you have, but compressed air works the best. Blow out your gas tank, make sure it's good and dry and free of water and contaminants. Blow out your crossover tubes. Alright, you're done cleaning, so basically let's put her back together. When you get your new diaphragm, I'm going to show you something. That part number 795083 is the new number. The part number on this used to be 495770 for 150,000 years, but they changed it. I don't know why, but they did, and now my memory banks are having to relearn all these new numbers. So, new number 795083, old number 495770. Don't ask me how I remember those. I guess 15 years of doing this will burn that crap into your memory. But anyway, we'll get this diaphragm put on, and we'll see how it runs. Once you mount the carburetor back on, you can bolt it back to the engine in the opposite way that you took it off. Just remember, you cam it and you hook it back in, and then basically, oh, let me show you. That O-ring, if you'll lubricate that O-ring with some oil or some WD-40 or some silicone paste or something like that, it'll slide on a whole lot easier. Once you get the carburetor bolted back on, be sure to install your PCV tube. You're going to wonder, how in the world am I going to get that on there now? What you do is you want to bend that. You just want to pinch it just like that, and then you can start both of them at the same time, and they'll just go right on there, just like that. And prime it up. We'll see if it's priming. I hadn't primed it yet. Let's see if it's getting fuel. Oh, there we go. That's always a good sign. About 3 or 4 times is all you need to do, and it should crank and run beautifully. Runs pretty good, no surge. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do the service on this one, change the oil and whatnot. The customer wants a new blade. He's wore it down to absolutely nothing. But anyway, Mower Medic 1, this concludes this installment of how to rebuild the Pulsa Prime Briggs & Stratton carburetor. Y'all have a good day. Right above is a subscribe button, and right over here in the corner, in the left hand corner, is a like button. Appreciate it if y'all do that. Alright.